when you told me the story. It was a story that was amazing. And it was a story I'd never heard of, and obviously it's based on a true story, which I think is very important, because if it wasn't true, you'd think, this is ridiculous, what a ridiculous invention. But it was based on a true story, and that's what really gave it its value for me. I love working with women, and it gave me the opportunity to work with this incredible team of girls, my wonderful, wonderful girls, all great actresses. And, it was and an opportunity to work with my husband, so it was great.
Brothel, to see how a real brothel, like how it is.
That's not a rumor, it's the truth. I mean, she was not so anxious to go visit. And I said, why should you approach this role any differently than any other role that you've done? And in reality, we went up to this place, the Wild Horse, and
the madam is just there.
And Susan Austin, the woman who's here, actually had given me incredible insight into this. And I said, you got to meet this woman. She's fantastic. So Helen kind of went there kind of askance, and then all of a sudden Susan said, you're coming with me. They disappeared, and I didn't see them for another 8 hours.
That's true.
All night.
I did. It was, obviously I was researching my role, so that was important. But I have to say, I felt very comfortable there. Susan is an amazing woman, and I hope that you talk with her. She's a very special woman, and she really, really helped me. The girls were great. The girls in the house were just wonderful, very welcoming, very sweet. And it was fascinating, How could it not be?
Well, now I have to ask you one last question. You took these amazing photos. Tell us about this. How amazing. You look amazing. And now it's a big deal, of course, that it's in here. We're so conditioned. You're British, and you guys are just so positive about your bodies and your images.
Well, you don't see much of my body, actually.
We did, tiny.
A little. You did. Very. God, it's so.
About these photos, please.
Well, I did the photo shoot with a very, very major photographer. He's one of the top 10 photographers in Europe. He's an art photographer, high fashion photographer. When you work with people like that, you give them artistic freedom. You work with them and you work creatively together. And that was what we did, and that was what he came up with. He shot just with a camera with a flash on it. There was no lighting, there was no assistance, there was no makeup. It was just raw, and I love that.
You think I'm just making too much of a big deal?
Yes, definitely. No question about that.
Well, listen, I love my wife, and she, she's bold. She isn't afraid of her sexuality, and she decides to do things she doesn't. So, I'm supportive of her every step of the way. And second of all, it's not exactly wrong for this particular subject. We're doing a film that takes place about sex. And I think America is entirely too uptight about sex. And so this film challenges that. It's not about a lot of phony eroticism that you might think is in a brothel. It's about the real people who work there. And that's what we made the film about. And like I said, every step of the way, it's a process of us being who we are and being proud of it. And I'm proud of my wife.
Thank you, baby.